Okay, so once again, I'm going to talk about how to teach English for polytechnic purposes. What teachers usually do, they teach general English and they teach grammar and technical terms rather than teaching skills. They put all the students together in one classroom and they teach them the same material regardless of their area of specializations. What students study in the course has nothing to do with their area of specialization, whether it's engineering, economics, textile industry, or technology. Students do not know how to search for information. They usually copy-paste from the net, sometimes without reading the material. What we have to remember is that when we teach students, whether we teach them English or anything, we prepare them for the job market. And in the job market, they have to apply knowledge and skills in a changeable world. Now, at the Fergana Polytechnic Institute, you teach English for technology, you teach mechanical engineering students, you teach chemistry students, you teach economics students, and textile industry. When we teach English for polytechnic purposes, we have to do the following things. First, we have to identify the students' needs. We have to assess their proficiency level in English. We have to decide, we have to define or identify the skills, which skills to teach, and also which content. In order to assess students' needs, we use a questionnaire, not necessarily a long questionnaire. We can use a very short questionnaire. We ask the students why they need to learn English while they are taking their courses, whether they are BA students or MA students. There is an echo. Can you hear it? There is an echo. We also ask them which skills they need to acquire while studying their courses and which skills they need to use after they graduate and work in their area of specialization in the job market. And in which situations the students will use English while studying and after graduation. The second thing that we have to do is we need to use a test to assess the students' proficiency level in English. Now this is better. Their current proficiency level, so that we know where we should start from. Now this is just a reminder. There are 4 language skills: listening, speaking, reading, writing. There are 3 language elements: phonemes, the spoken sounds; graphemes, the written words, the written letters; vocabulary; and grammar. Now, the skills can be classified into receptive skills and productive skills. The receptive skills are listening and reading. The productive skills are speaking and writing. After we assess the students' needs and we test them to define their proficiency level, we need to specify which skills do they need. Now, engineering students, economics, technology, textile industry, chemistry students, they do not need the same skills. Some students, for example, need only listening. Some students need speaking. Some students, they only need to read or they need to write reports. So we don't need to teach all the skills to all of the students. We have to pick and choose. But here I'm gonna give you an overview of the skills and the sub-skills they consist of. Now, listening skills. In listening skills, there are two main sub-skills. Auditory discrimination, and by auditory discrimination, I mean the ability to identify and discriminate phonemes, vowels and consonants, minimal pairs, syllables, assimilation, elision, pause, juncture, stress, intonation, and of course, other things. Listening skills also include auditory comprehension. And this is, of course, extremely important. Auditory comprehension means they should be able to understand the discourse that they hear. If they watch TV, for example, if somebody calls them over the phone. So they have to understand or identify the main ideas and the details in spoken discourse. Now, the speaking skills also, there are two major sub-skills. Oral production. Now here we have auditory discrimination. Here, oral production of the same thing. Here we have auditory discrimination of phonemes, minimal pairs, syllables, assimilation, elision. Here we have, under speaking, oral production. The students need to be able to produce phonemes, syllables, allophones, geminates, assimilation, elision, stress, intonation, pause, and juncture. Also, another skill is oral expression. And here, what the students should be able to do, they should be able to generate and organize ideas, use the necessary vocabulary, the necessary grammatical structures. Also, they should be able to use correct pronunciation, correct stress, intonation, fluency, and speed. Now, under reading skills, we have two major sub-skills, the reading process and the reading product. Reading process means what mental processes go on in our mind while we are reading. And we do these things in order to understand the content of the passage, the content of the text. So the process skills cover decoding, that's the ability to convert the printed symbol into spoken sounds. They have to identify word meaning. They have to identify phonic and structural clues, syntactic structures, understand syntactic structures, text organization, anaphora. Anaphora means connecting pronouns with the noun they refer to, making inferences and using their background knowledge about the topic of the text. Now, the second reading skill is the reading product. By reading product is comprehension. When we do things in our mind while we are reading, and then we finish. When we finish, we understand. We call that comprehension. So, there are 4 levels of comprehension: literal comprehension, inferential, critical, and appreciation. Now, the writing skills are production skills. And here, when the students write, they need to be able to identify a recipient for their writing, a purpose for the writing. They have to be able to generate and organize ideas. They have to be able to write a thesis statement for the whole essay and also a topic sentence for each paragraph. They should be able to develop a paragraph and also a whole essay, select the appropriate words choose appropriate sentence structure, write the first draft, revise the draft, then write the final draft. They have to be able to correct their spelling, also take care of indentation, punctuation, capitalization, and formatting. Of course, I need a whole hour to explain these. Here I'm giving them to you briefly because each group of skills, I need one whole hour to go through them in detail and give examples. Okay, now which language elements should we incorporate in the English course? Now, when we teach vocabulary, the vocabulary skills that the students need to acquire, spelling, they should be able to spell the words correctly, pronounce them correctly. They should be able to tell the part of speech of the words, the word structure, analyze the words into their components, prefixes, suffixes, roots. They should be able to give the singular, the plural forms, verb conjugation. Also, some vocabulary items are standard, some are non-standard. They should be able to know the word meaning, the synonyms, the antonyms, and also the meanings of idioms. When students learn grammar, they learn morphology, syntax, and word formation. Now, morphology includes gender, number means singular, plural, person, first person, second person, third person, case, objective and nominative case, tense, past, present, future, mood, aspect means continuous, perfect, simple, mood means imperative, subjunctive, transitivity means transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, voice means passive voice, active voice, and comparison means comparative and superlative forms. Now, syntax here, when we put words together to form sentences in a specific word order, the students has to be able to recognize the sentence types, sentence transformations. When we change statements into questions, we change a statement into imperative, for example, and also agreement. Agreement means agreement between the noun and the verb, the subject and the verb, the noun and the adjective, and the pronoun and its antecedent. The third thing that the students need to develop is word formation. By word formation, I mean derivation. When I say product, productivity, produce, producer, and compounding. Compounding are compounds are two words used together. Like when I say high school, Fergana Politechnic Institute, this is a compound. It consists of 3 words. Okay, then we select the content. When we select the content, the material, the subject matter, it should be related to the student's area of specialization. Now, we should teach engineering students together, chemistry students together, economics students together, so that we give engineering students engineering text to read, chemistry students chemistry text to read, textile industry students textile industry text to read, and so on. So, the material the students read or they talk about or they listen to should be related to their area of specialization. Now, where do we get the material from? We can find articles on Google. We can take chapters or parts of chapters from books, specialized books, from journal articles, newspapers, and newspaper headlines, research papers. We can use abstracts, we can use reports, we can use specialized encyclopedia articles, we can use also specialized monolingual dictionaries so that the students look up the meanings of difficult terminology in those dictionaries. We can use statistics, graphs, illustrations, pictures. Since the purpose here is to teach the students English, to develop the students' English language skills, their vocabulary, their grammar, we should not use difficult topics. We should not use unfamiliar specialized topics. We should use familiar topics. Now, we all have some background knowledge about engineering. We know something about bridges, about roads, about construction material. We see the construction material in the street every day. So we all have some background knowledge. So we should choose specialized texts with familiar topics. General topics in engineering or economics or chemistry or textile industry. The text should be of different topics, different lengths, and difficulty levels. We start with easy and short, then we make the text longer, more difficult, less familiar, and so on. If we cannot select specialized text, we can ask instructors who are specialized in engineering, chemistry to help us, to suggest some text. The students also can suggest their own topics, select their own topics, and we can use those topics for instruction. Now here I'm going to give you examples of technical terms and topics at the same time. I'm not engineering major, I'm not chemistry major, I'm not textile industry major. I search for these the way you will be doing. Okay, so what I did, I just entered in Google technology terminology, engineering terminology, chemistry terminology, textile industry terminology. I also entered technology topics, engineering topics, textile industry topics, chemistry topics, economics topics, and so on, technology topics. So, for example, when we teach students who are technology major, we can teach them words like cybernetics, cybercrime, cybersecurity. Now notice that I selected words with cyber so that they connect the words together. Try to select words that are related because it's easy for them, it will be easy for the students to learn and remember all of those words together. Cybernetics, cybercrime, cybersecurity, CPU, security from cybersecurity, networking, network, forensic computing, computer, specifications, hackers, communication, algorithm, programming, programmer, program. You see, 3 words in one go. Broadband, encryption, firewall, gateway, malware, cloud, megahertz, gigahertz, and terabyte. Now, you will find that some students will know some of these words already because we use them in everyday life. I'm sure all of you know all of those words. I'm sure. Come on. Can you please turn off your microphone? Can he turn off his microphone? Okay, so when I entered engineering terminology, I got many. So I selected some combustion chamber because the students study mechanical engineering. So I picked words related to mechanical engineering such as combustion chamber, machinery, manufacturing, structure, system, process, processing, equipment, detonation, mechanization, deflection, biotechnology, metallurgy, automation, footing, bases, singular plural, and foundation, composite, atmospheric, pressure, convection, electrician. More engineering work, because engineering is a very broad area. Oil, gas deposition, raw materials, intensification, properties, industrialization, industrialized, erection, hydraulics, resources, exploitation, cartography, and so on. Electromechanical, electrotechnical, automation, conduction, compression, compressor. Now, chemistry, I did the same thing. I entered chemistry topics, chemistry terminology, and I got these. I got many, but I selected these: organic elements, oxides, compounds, oxidization, acids, alkali, reaction, apparatus, atoms, gas, molecule, ions, matter, structure, bonds, melt, properties, electrons, composition, protons, particles, crystals, solids, liquids, gaseous, isotopes, evaporation, sublimation, condensation, equation, solidification, mass number, atomic number. I'm sure you know most of these words. Also, I selected words from the textile industry terminology, like fabric, polyester, design, fashion, yarn, synthetic, fiber, jute, natural fiber products, cotton, hemp, manufacturing, process, flax. You see, process, you will find it in all the fields, and it can mean different things. Flax, weaving, garment, factory, supplies, quality, safety, sustainability, and so on. When I entered economics terminology and economics topics, I got many, so I picked these as a sample: microeconomics, macroeconomics, inflation, finance, financial, economy. There's a difference between economy and economics. Capital, exports, imports, shareholding, shareholder, finance, bookkeeping, commerce, management, enterprise, banking, demand and supply, profit and loss, interest, recession, unemployment, investment, investor, welfare, budget, cost and benefit, scarcity, and so on. Okay, now when we teach English, we have to integrate. We have to integrate content and listening, specialized material, specialized topics, and listening, specialized topics, specialized material, and speaking. I'm referring to specialized material by using the word content, and integrate content and reading, content and writing, content and vocabulary, content and grammar. Also, we need to integrate searching skills, and we have to integrate technology, and we have to develop the students' prior knowledge, integrate prior knowledge. Whatever we teach, whether we teach the skills, reading, writing, listening, speaking, or the elements, vocabulary, grammar, we have to do these through specialized material. Okay, now to develop the students' listening, we can find YouTube lectures. And here I have examples. For example, you just enter in YouTube in the search box, management lectures, business law lectures, economics lectures, computer lectures, and you get a whole list of lectures. Many, too many. So you just read the title, and then you can select whichever you like. Of course, there are criteria for selecting lectures. I will mention them soon. You can also enter engineering lectures, textile and industry lectures, chemistry lectures, organic chemistry lectures, information technology lectures, and you will get a whole list of lectures on all topics. Now, since we're having too many chemistry lectures, engineering lectures, technology lectures, what we do, first we have to pick a few of those, And we have to watch the video ourselves before assigning the video to the students. We have to pay attention to the video length in minutes. We start with short videos. We make them longer. We have to pay attention to the speed of the speaker. If the speaker speaks fast, then we have to look for another one where the speaker speaks a little bit slowly. Also, the speaker's accent, whether the speaker speaks with an American accent, British accent, Indian accent. Also, the topic familiarity, the complexity, the difficulty level of the topic. Then you assign a video, one only, not all of them together in one class, in 1 week, just one per week. You have to tell the students what the video is about. You can explain a couple of difficult words from the video. Give some questions that the students should answer after they watch the video. The questions should ask about just the main idea, not the tiny details, the main ideas, the important details. For example, the reasons for this, factors, the structure, statistics, if there are statistics. The students can watch the video in class if there is time, or at home if there is no time. The students should never watch a video passively. While watching, they should take notes, and also they should answer the questions that you have given them. Whether they do these things at home or in the classroom, if they do them at home, then in class, you have to discuss the answers with the students. After this, you finish the discussion and watching, the students can go home and write a summary or make an outline of the video content. If you have time, you do this in class. If you don't have time, the students can do this at home. Okay, now speaking skills. To develop the students' speaking skills, the same thing. They practice speaking or talking about topics in their major area. If they are engineering students, then they talk about topics in engineering or chemistry or biology or medicine or geography, depending on their major. Use inquiry-based activities. What does this mean? Now, when I taught English at the University of Tourism, I didn't have a curriculum. I had no book. I had nothing. So what I used to do, I would enter the classroom, ask the students about their major area of study. They would say, okay, let's say marketing or whatever. And I would ask them, what do you mean by tourism? What do you do? What do you market? And they would explain to me. Sometimes, because they were freshmen, they wouldn't know a particular word, so I would give it to them. Write it on the board and then ask them. I wouldn't give them the meaning. I would ask them to look the word up in the dictionary on their mobile. So, but they didn't all have internet on their mobile. So I would ask them to share. 2, 3 students will share one mobile. For example, once I asked them to give me examples or names of airlines. They didn't know. They only know in Uzbekistan Airways. So I asked them to look up some names of, let's say, Russian airlines on Google. I wouldn't give them the names of Russian airlines. They have to find them. Okay, so you can ask the students about familiar topics in their major area of specialization. You can assign a topic and ask the students to prepare it at home. They can choose to prepare a topic of their choice and then come to class and give a presentation about it in 5 minutes. The students can brainstorm a topic in class. Like if they want to, let's say, talk about oil industry, oil production in the world, they can brainstorm either in pairs or small groups. They can generate ideas. This is what we teach them by asking question words. What, when, why, who, where, how. We can help them with vocabulary that they need to generate ideas. We should correct their pronunciation while they are speaking. The students can locate information in Google, on their mobile, in the classroom. And then at the end of the lecture, they have to go home with an assignment. What they have to do, they have to write a summary or a report about the topic discussed in class. Now reading, when we teach reading, also we teach the students to read and comprehend text in their major area of specialization. Engineering text, chemistry text, textile industry text, economics text, technology text, geography text, biology text, medical text, and so on. Okay, so we select text related to the student's specialty. Before I assign the test, some texts or articles are good to read, but they are not good for instructional purposes. They wouldn't have the content that we need to teach reading skills. So we have to find a good instructional text. So in order to do that, the teacher should read several texts at home, underline difficult words, some grammatical structures. We don't teach all of the English grammar from one text, just a couple of grammatical structures. It's not possible to teach all reading skills in one text, nor in one class session. So there are different types of reading skills that the students can practice. One of them is skimming. The students skim, they read quickly, they look here and there. They don't read every single word, every single line. So they look quickly in order to form a general idea about the text. Another skill is scanning. We give them one question and we ask them to read quickly to find the answer to the question. Also, since the students are engineering major, textile industry major, chemistry, for sure the texts are usually accompanied by illustrations, pictures, graphs, figures. So the students need to learn, they need to interpret, they need to understand, they need to connect the illustrations, the graphs, the figures, the pictures with the written text, the information in the text. We can give them questions, a couple of questions about the main ideas, about the details in the text. They can summarize the text. They can make an outline of the main ideas and important details. We can give them a table. We can give them a graph. And they fill the table and the graph with the main ideas and details. Of course, to go through these in detail and give examples, I need one whole hour. Okay, another important thing that we need to teach the students is how to recognize and understand the organizational structure of a text. You know, in engineering, in chemistry, we have different types of paragraph and text organization. Some paragraphs define, some classify, enumerate. We can have a comparison. The paragraph can be a process paragraph, or the text can be process. It shows how we can make things. It can give examples. It can tell the spatial order or chronological order of something. Also, there are words in the text that signal structure. For example, there are words like first, second, another. When we see them, these show enumeration. They give points, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we see because as a result of, consequently, here we have cause effect. If we see is divided to, categorized, classified into, these show classification. If we see similar to, like, likewise, but, however, then here we have comparison. Please, can you please turn your microphone off? Please, can you ask them to turn their microphone off? Okay, if you see then, ago, last, when, while, during, then, these show chronological order, time order. If you see such as, for instance, for example, then here we have exemplification or examples. Okay, also we teach new words, new technical terms through content, whether it's spoken or it's written, a written text. And when we teach new words, new terms, we have to teach the students how to pronounce the words. For example, you know English is not regular. So words are spelled one way and they are pronounced another way. When we teach words like opportunity, negotiate, mutual, insurance, continuum, we have to teach the students this T, how this T is pronounced, and this one is opportunity, is pronounced cha. But here negotiate is pronounced sha. And here mutual is pronounced cha. Insurance is pronounced sha. Continuum, we have two, use. Also, we have to break words into suffix, prefix, root, multinational, monopoly, oligopoly, bureaucracy, democracy, autocracy. Also, some words that have negative prefixes like indifference, unequal, uneven, unemployed, disproportionate. Also, especially Latin words. We need to teach the students singular and plural forms. Data, data. Media, medium. Quota, appendix, appendices. Also, derivatives, different derivatives. Words derived from the same root and part of speech. Bank, banker, banking. Monopoly, monopolize, monopolistic. Compete, competitor, competition, and competitive. Okay, same thing, we have to teach antonyms like supply and demand, benefit and loss, implicit, explicit. There are also near synonyms like managing director, executive director, CEO, GM. There are also foreign terms used, per capita, entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, this is a French word. There are also compounds. Now, there are three types of compounds. Compounds usually consist of two words. The two words can be separate, like high school. They can be agglutinated, spelled together as one word, like withdraw money from the machine. And they can be hyphenated. Okay, so withdraw, for example, it's one word. There is no space. If it's with and draw, this is wrong. It's meaningless, has no meaning. undertake also, and under and take. The two words should be spelled together, underwrite. So where I have the asterisk, it means this is incorrect. It's not used. Okay. In chemistry, in engineering, for example, there are abbreviations and acronyms: LTD, GNP, CEO, and CB, CO, and so on. There are also symbols for money, for alpha and phi and tm and beta and phi and all of these. There are formulas, especially in chemistry. In engineering also, there are formulas in the text. So we can teach them the simple ones. We don't go into complicated formulas. There are words with multiple meanings, like statement. The word statement. It has different meanings in the different areas of specialties. For example, statement in general language, not like bank statement. The word balance, it's used in banking, it means something. It's in physics, it means when you have two, like scales. So there is balance, and also balance sheet. The word base, it's used in architecture or engineering, it's used in chemistry, it's used in mathematics, it's used in many areas of specialty. The word system, it has a lot of meanings. The students should be able also, we should teach them how to infer meanings of difficult words from context. We don't always look the meanings of difficult words up in the dictionary. The text itself explains itself. We can find the meaning of a difficult word when there is a definition from the examples, from punctuation marks, if there are synonyms, if there are antonyms. Teach related terms together, especially derivatives like compete, competitor, competitive, competition. It's easier for the students to remember derivatives when we teach them together than if we teach one only of these words. Use a concept map or a mind map to show the relationships, to group words together. Okay, now do not teach grammar from a grammar book. Teach grammar through the text, through the engineering text, or economics text, or chemistry text. When we teach English for engineering or chemistry or economics, we do not need to teach everything in English grammar in the grammar book. We only teach those grammatical structures that are very common in engineering or in economics textbooks. Or, for example, in engineering, they use the present simple. They might use the passive voice. So we teach these. We don't need to teach all the tenses. So do not teach all the grammatical structures in the English language. Teach grammatical structures common in the student subject area. You can teach imperatives because these are used in instructions. You can teach the tenses, not all of them, the ones that are common, and the words that signal tenses, like every day, often, very often, regularly, like this. You can teach prepositions in, on, it's important, especially in spatial order, when, for example, the text describes, let's say, a building. You have to know, the students have to know on top and below and under and on the right, on the left, in the center, the locations where each is located. Passive structures are important. Complex senses are important. Compound senses. we can break down complex sentences and compound sentences into smaller parts. Now, when we teach writing, we don't need to teach the students everything about writing. Only those types of things that the students need to write. For example, when they work, if they write reports, then we teach them report writing. If they are in economics and they have to conduct, let's say, a questionnaire, then we teach them how to design a short questionnaire. So the students may practice summarization, they can make an outline, they can fill out forms, they can design a short questionnaire, they can write a business letter, write a report, write an essay, and the essay can be a descriptive essay, process essay, how-to essay, cause-effect essay, classification, whole part, chronology essay, spatial order, and so on. And they may need to write a term paper, especially if they are graduate students, they need to write a thesis. So we don't need to teach all of those to all the students in all the subject areas. We teach them what they need to write in their area of specialization. Now, when we present the material to the students, it's important to use graphic organizers or concept maps to connect information and show relationships like the ones here in the pictures. T-chart and here. So this is what I mean by graphic organizers. We should sequence, this is the order of the topics, and grade when we put them in order from the easiest to the most difficult. So what we do, we sequence and grade the material from the general to the specific, from the known to the unknown, from the whole to the part, concrete, abstract, from the examples to the generalization or the rule or generalization to the examples. Now the assignments, practice and application. Use guided practice with feedback in class because everything is new to the students in the classroom. So what we do, we ask them to do something, we go around and check and help them. If they make a mistake, if we find out that they have not understood something, then we explain it to them. At home, use independent practice at home. Give clear, direct, detailed instructions. The students that are, you have a variety of assignments. You can give different types. For example, students can give an oral presentation. They can write a report. They can participate in a project, write a term paper, answer questions. They can also, you have role playing, like negotiation, like conducting an interview. They can conduct an interview with each other or with somebody like outside the classroom. They can also visit a bank, visit a factory, a corporation, a travel agency, and then write a report about the visit. They can also provide solutions to problems like pollution, like unemployment. So students usually learn by doing. If they go, like visit a bank, visit a factory, a corporation, travel agency, conduct an interview, they will never forget these things because they learned by doing. The assignments should focus on application and transfer of skills to new situations. They should not focus on rote memorization and recall. They should not duplicate questions and assignments in the book. They should not copy-paste. The assignments can be performed individually, in pairs, or small groups. We have to provide guidance. We have to guide the students throughout the assignment, the project, the term paper, provide individualized feedback, show error location, just tell them this is wrong, and why. And the students should correct their own errors and each other's mistakes. And always encourage the students and give them positive reinforcement. Now, it's very important these days to teach the students how to search for information online. They need to learn how to select search terms. For example, they can look for, enter in Google, type in Google, chemistry terminology, economics terms, mechanical engineering lectures, technology lectures, chemistry topics, economics topics. They can even enter topics within the broad area, like cost and benefits, supply and demand, cybersecurity. It's a huge topic. Analytical mechanics, aerodynamics, nanomaterials, nanotechnology, nuclear power, global warming, composite materials, fiber optics, fibers and yarns, fiber sources and types, common uses for textiles, types of fabric, thermochemistry, and electrochemistry, and others. So they can search Google, they can search YouTube, they can search specialized databases, they can search online dictionaries or encyclopedias like Wikipedia for these topics. Now, topics like these can be also used for oral practice, for listening, and also for selecting reading texts. To develop students' prior knowledge in their area of specialty, they can read online newspapers, watch TV, collect articles related to topics covered in the course, read them, keep them in a portfolio, answer questions on those. Since the students are in the age of technology and internet, and each of them has a smartphone, it's important that teachers integrate technology. We can use a Facebook or a Twitter page, use a blog, use an online discussion forum, an online course, specialized internet websites, online videos, magazines, newspapers, dictionaries. Also, they can go to, for example, a bank website, corporation website, answer questions on those. The teacher should always remember that technology does not teach by itself. Using technology does not make learning automatic. Technology should not be used passively. We have to give the students questions. We have to guide the students. We have to provide technical support. Sometimes they have problems. They don't know how to find something. So we have to give them something to work on. Okay, this is the last slide. Now this slide is for teachers. I noticed when I visited Uzbekistan several times, and I taught students that if the course is 2 hours a week, you teach the 2 hours in one day, and the 2 hours are back to back, together. This is too much. The students will be bored. When you teach 2 hours, you will teach a lot of material, which the students will forget half of the things they have learned. Especially when we teach language. It's better to teach language for a short period of time, half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, several times a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Like uh, this is better. The students will learn better than if they study 3 hours, like in Russia. They had Arabic 6 hours a week, and they would study Arabic twice a week, 2 days, 3 hours each. Now the students will sleep in those 3 hours, and you will not be able to teach them a lot of material. But if you teach them every day, 45 minutes or 50 minutes, you will teach more content, more material, and the students will learn better. They will remember better. Okay. One thing that's common among all teachers that teach English for specific purposes is that they have an excuse. They say, oh, I'm not specialized in medicine. I'm not specialized in chemistry. I don't know much about economics. I don't know much about this, about that. And it's easier for them to teach grammar, to teach general English, put all the students together, give them a short text, and let go. It's important for teachers to have a positive attitude towards teaching English for special purposes rather than general English. Look at it as an opportunity to learn something new. We all have some background knowledge in engineering, textile industry, technology, chemistry, economics. Now, the words I mentioned, the topics I mentioned, I'm sure you know most of them. So you know something. So we have some background knowledge about agriculture, about medicine, about architecture, about geography, about education. We can read articles about general topics in these areas. I'm not specialized. For example, when I taught tourism students, I'm not tourism major, but I travel. But I learned with the students. I learned from them. I would ask them questions, and then because I have some background knowledge because of traveling in tourism, I was able to expand the topic. I would ask the students, and they would provide information and examples. There is one rule that you should always remember. If you put your mind into it, you can do it. No matter what they ask you to teach. Now me, if they ask me to teach engineering, and I put my mind into it, I will be able to do it. There is nothing impossible. At first, it's difficult, but later, with practice, it gets easier. You have a great teacher, Google. If you need anything in the subject area, in any specialization, if you need to learn anything, search Google for teaching skills that you need, for vocabulary, technical terms, for topics, for YouTube videos. Okay, with this I come to the end of my lecture. Thank you for your attention. And when you send me the Zoom recording, I will upload it to my YouTube channel. You just enter my first name, last name in the YouTube search box, and you will find my channel. Now, if you have questions about the lecture, we have time, so please, you can ask me.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rema Al-Jarf. It was very interesting. You gave us very fruitful information about how to teach students in integrated skills. Yeah. Thank you very much. And here we we can get a lot of information how to communicate or how to content with students by taking into consideration their sphere of studying, yeah?
The what?
Okay.
I didn't get it. I didn't understand the question.
No, this is not question.
Yeah.
I said that you're very
Yeah, I understood that.
excellent teacher and you gave us very fruitful information.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. And here we have our dean. I mean, head of our department, Goya Khan Burkhanova, let you to give turn. But she's not English teacher, she's German teacher. She wants to speak in German.
Okay, you can use all of those strategies.
Goya pe?
Yeah, but the vocabulary would be German, the text would be German, the discussion, the videos would be German. Everything I mentioned here would be in German, but the same principles. You can use the same principles.
Okay, thank you. Goya pe, Gapruri.
Guten Tag, Frau Reimer.
Yes?
Dankeschön
Oh,
für die interessante.
bitte schon, bitte schon.
Wir treffen noch einmal. Ich denke, alles ist sehr gut.
I know a little German, not too much. Danke schön, bitte schön, bitte, that's all.
Dankeschön. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, dear teachers?
No questions, thank you.
Okay.
There is a question. There is a question. Can I ask one question, please?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So I've been studying in mechanical engineering for 4 years. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So most of the time we use it to study only general English,
Mm-hmm.
but despite being so specialized in mechanics engineering, so how would you recommend to our teachers to improve their technical terms, to learn about machines? So now I'm a graduate student. When I go to foreign plants or factories,
Yeah.
they do not require any general knowledge. So they ask how machines work in English,
Yes.
items are written, explanations all are written in English. So it becomes useless when we go to factories or plants.
Yeah. They have to apply everything I said in the lecture. Everything I mentioned in the lecture, they have to apply it. Because my lecture, listen to me, my lecture does not focus on general English. Everything is technical. They have to use technical terms in engineering, chemistry, economics, or any specialty. The text should be specialized. The grammatical structures should be those in specialized texts. So everything they teach should be specialized. So the answer is everything that I said in the lecture. Because I'm against teaching general English to students studying engineering, biology, geography, chemistry, economics, technology. You just name it.
Yeah. It's already given answer.
Yeah. The whole lecture is the answer.
Thank you, Ms. Rayma Al-Jarf.
Okay.
I hope we'll do another conference in few months, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Do you have any questions? Any more questions? If you have questions
No
later on,
questions, thank you.
okay, you can write the questions under the video when I post the video on YouTube. So you can write the questions down there.
Hadi baba, lapis bağlamadı.
No, thank you. Good information, good presentation. It will be used in our practice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, I have a question.
And
Okay,
I have a question.
go ahead.
Ladies,
Go ahead.
Rima,
Yes.
I'm very glad to see you and to be a witness of your lecture. It's one of the brilliant lectures I've ever heard. It's very informative and very important to students and for teachers as well, how to apply methods and methodologies and to get success. My question is, how can we change the tendency of students' interest to the language to make them more inspired to study the language and to get much more information for their career development?
Okay. Well, usually the educational system in Uzbekistan is like the educational system in Saudi Arabia. It is teacher-centered. The teacher enters the classroom, she lectures and talks, and the students they nod like this, shake their hands, and this is somewhere else. So what we have to do, we have to shift from teacher-centered to student-centered. Even if the student is hiding in the back, you have to call on them.
Yeah.
Ask one student from here, one student from there, one student from here. You know, after one lecture, I had 50 at the University of Tourism in Samarkand. I had 50 students. And I made them all work, all of them. You don't need to ask 50 students. You ask 10 only. But pick one from here, one from there, one from there. You go around, you see what they are doing. You will find that they are playing with their mobile. They are talking, they are doing this. So you have to arouse their interest by asking them questions. They should feel they are part of what they are studying. Also, give them marks. Give them marks.
Yeah.
If you get Saudi students, you give them marks, they kill themselves. They will do miracles. You don't give them marks, they don't do anything. No homework, nothing.
Yes.
So give them marks.
We have the same.
You can have a competition among the students. What I do, for example, when I teach interpreting, I ask each student to bring to class 2 texts, one Arabic, one English, and I use their text in the practice. So ask them to bring topics. Ask them to bring a text.
Great.
Ask them to give you ideas which topics they like in their area of specialty. Like me, I told them, I don't know anything about tourism. Now tell me, what are you studying? What's your major? Within terminology, there are subspecialties. So they told me. Some of them, they study about travel agents. Some, they study about religious tourism. Some, they study about food, restaurants, and some airline industry or whatever. So I would just ask them questions, say, okay, tell me about it. Where can tourists go if they come for religious tourism? Do you have any, if I want to go to and see Samarkand, what can I see? Now, at Fergana State University, I also taught, but general English. I had no textbook, nothing. I would just go into the classroom like this. And what I did, I said, okay, take 5 minutes to think about one city. I want you to tell me, which cities can I visit in Uzbekistan? So one student told me about Samarkand, and another one about Tashkent, and another one about I don't know what, and they came to the front of the classroom. They were very good. The students at Fergana University, they are excellent, very good. But the students at Tourism University, some were shy and some were more outgoing and their English was better. But some, their English was poor. But after one lecture, they said, oh, don't go home, stay, teach us. We want you to teach us. Just after one lecture, I said, it's not up to me. Go to the vice president and tell him. They went to the vice president and told him, they said, oh, we want her to teach us. Nobody taught us like her. Because, you know, you show them attention. I paid attention to them. I would go back, like, you know, if you have 50 students, they would be too far from you. So I would go to the end of the classroom, stand there and see what the students are doing. Ask this and ask that, and especially if I ask them to find the meaning of a difficult word on their mobile, I would go. And I would find out if they have internet or not and have them share, like 2-3 students share one mobile. And then tell me, read it out, read the definition. So you have to give them attention. But if you are bored, you are tired, you do it, you go to the classroom because you have to. This is how teachers feel. This is most teachers' attitude when they teach English to, let's say, engineering, to here, to there, for special purposes. They are bored. They think it's difficult. No, it's easier to teach general English and to teach the tenses and the prepositions and the articles, give a test and the students pass and you let go. But they don't learn anything. They don't benefit. That's why you have to teach only those specific skills that the students need. When they work in a textile factory, they may not need writing or reading.
Extreme.
Maybe they need only listening and speaking. Maybe if they work at a bank, they may not need all the skills, just specific skills. They need to read reports, to read statistics, to read certain things, but they may not need speaking. They may not need listening. If they work for the airline, they need listening. Why? To carry out the commands, the orders of the air controllers. So they don't need writing. They don't have time to write and read. They only need listening.
Yes.
They need speaking, but listening more than
They are
speaking.
busy by
Okay,
doing tasks
so
and,
that's why you limit the skills. You ask them because we don't know what they need. I don't know. I wouldn't know what engineering students need. They have to tell me. When I taught English for art education, I didn't know anything about art. I knew a little. But I asked them. I said, why do you need English? When I taught geography, I asked the department head. I said, what do you want me to teach the students? He said, teach them how to read reference books, reference material in English, in geography. That's all. He didn't want speaking. He didn't want listening. Just reading comprehension of specialized material in geography. Because they were graduate students, PhD students. So you delimit the skills. And then you use material in their area of specialty. If you teach them about cars, then they will be interested.
specific material.
But if you teach them a story, they will not be interested. If you teach them American Headway, they will hate it. They will hate it. But if you teach them engineering, something about cars, about planes, about this, about that, they will like it. So you have to select topics that they study related to what they are studying. You have to engage them. They have to be active in the classroom. You have to give them attention, to show them attention, They have to participate in class. You also give them marks. So
Okay.
when you give an assignment, okay, you don't need to teach everything I said. I'm giving you lots of options. So every week you can give one video, you can give one text. And then listening, speaking, they should be based on these too. Because you only have 2 hours. Like in my country, students may take, when I taught English to geography students, I had 6 hours. So you have a lot of time. But if you have 2 hours, you don't have much time to do a lot. So you have to be focused and selective also. So you teach one video per week, and to save time, the students can watch the video. But for example, today, you give them the video, the link, the questions and everything, and tell them next time we're going to discuss this video. So they go home, they watch, and then they answer, you check. It's important at the beginning of the lecture to go around and check on the homework, on their assignment, if they've done the assignment. If they have not, you just write their names down and say, okay, you don't do homework, and I will deduct 1 mark. They go crazy if you deduct 1 mark. They will, yes, well, I know. I taught students for a very long time. I know their psychology. You give them marks, they will work. You deduct marks.
Something like inspiration for them, marks.
And also, you encourage them. If you say, okay, today you've been good, and I'm very pleased, and inshallah, tomorrow or next week, I expect you to be better. Always make them feel good about themselves. So if they feel they are learning something meaningful, they will be good.
Something back.
They will improve. They will become good. They will be interested. But they are bored because you're teaching them boring material. You're teaching them grammar. They are sick of grammar. They studied grammar, I don't know for how many years in school and at the university and here and there. They know it all. They know grammar. So they don't need more grammar. If you teach them grammar, only the structures in the engineering book or in the textile industry. Do this, do that. Maybe if they need imperatives, instructions.
In context, yes.
Exactly. You teach for communication, you teach in a specialized context, not any context. Okay, any other question?
Thank you very much. See you next time.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Rayma. It
Okay.
seems that we'll have to do our seminar for about 3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours? She told me 1 hour.
Active with you.
She told me 1 hour. That's why I made it short. That's why I made it short. She told me 1 hour and 45 minutes for me, 15 minutes for the questions. Okay, you can go have coffee. Now, do you go to the office or you work from home? Do you go to the office because of Corona?
Some of us at home and some of us at the office.
Oh, okay.
All
And
of us are working at the office. Yes.
And the students?
We are at home.
How about the students?
Students the same at home, online. Yeah, they are at homes. They are on online regime with us. Virtually. We connect them virtually.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Rayma.
Okay. So, is that all?
Okay.
Okay.
See you very soon.
Okay, inshallah.
We'll see you soon.
Inshallah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay, goodbye.
Take care of yourself. See you.
Okay, goodbye.